Hey, welcome to Side New with JW. This is Side New 117, First Impressions. So first impressions, we've always heard that first impressions is that lasting impression. And it's really, you have to make a good first impression. Because if not, you're spending the rest of the time trying to make up for that lack of a first impression that you made on some type of individual. And the reason I say this, I sat through, quite a few briefs today, and there were speakers that would come into the room and would automatically have this presence about them. And then there were others that would walk into the room and didn't know their freaking head from their a-hole. Now, I got it. I understand. We all have to learn certain things. We all have to do certain things. We're not always the most knowledgeable on the subject. However, if you know that you're going to go ahead and you're going to talk to a room full of individuals and a professional, and you're going to be in a room full of professionals and you're going to talk about certain things, you should probably know your head from your a-hole. And the reason for that is because it's that impression. You're making the first impression. And for these, the speeches and the briefs that I went through today, this is the first impression to this place, to this location that all of these individuals came to and now they belong to, and the organization that they belong to, and the group. And when you make a poor impression, you leave those individuals struggling to think, well, is this how everything is? Is this how that individual always is? Compared to the individual that walks in there with confidence, they know exactly what they're talking about. They present it in a way where you're like, wow, no questions. I don't have any questions. The questions that I thought about, that individual had answered. They came in, they knew everything that they were supposed to know on it. And if there were any questions from other individuals, they knew the answer right away. They didn't have to go back and find it. They didn't have to tell them, hey, I'll get back to you on this or anything like that. So those first impressions are very, very important. There's a reputation that you have overall, but when you meet somebody or you are, come into a group and class full of individuals and you're about to present something, you're about to present a speech, you're about to present some type of overall instruction, you have to walk in there with confidence. You have to walk in there and make that first impression, the lasting impression, and not for all the wrong reasons. So when you do that, understand that, know that. That is what is going to take you further than other individuals. You're going to be the individual that's called back to do these things. You're going to be the individual that is like that guy or gal right there. They got their crap together. They know what's going on. And then that reputation that you have, all right, gets better and better and better because of time after time after time you coming in there and just crushing it overall, compared to the individual that comes in there and freaking just doesn't know what the hell is going on. So ensure that you make that great first impression in whatever you're doing. A job interview, if you're going for, if you're moving organizations from one organization to another and you're now in front of new people, that first impression can be the lasting impression, and you have to make sure that it's the right one. Because here's another thing real quick is people do their homework on you. People will do their homework. Bosses, CEOs, companies, a lot of the time they'll do their homework on you, and when they hear these great things and then all of a sudden you get in front of them and you don't produce the same thing, they're left questioning. Compared to, they hear that you do great things and then you walk in front of them and that first impression, you just crush it, and they're like, dang, everything I heard about that individual was right. That's what you want to make sure that happens. That's what you want to make sure that is what is in their engraved in their brain overall, of the image of you, that first impression of what you got and what you're able to go ahead and present overall. So if you're garbage at first impressions and you know that you need to work on those things, or you know that you need to work on other areas when it comes to getting in front of people and making some type of first impression, guess what? Work on it. Because if not, you're not going to get to where you want to get overall. You're not going to get to the level of success that you want to. You need to make that great first impression. Now, can you recover from it? Absolutely. If you make a poor first impression, can you recover from it? Yes. But you're working much more, harder than you would if you would have just knocked it out of the park the first time. So don't think that if you suck altogether at life on that first time, you can't get better. I always say garbage to greatness. You can do that. However, study. All right, look at what you are not, good at. Look at where you have trouble, and figure those issues out before the fact, not after the fact. So make that first great impression. Ensure that that's what everybody remembers you by, and especially after individuals have done their homework on you and their research and they've heard great things. that's what you want to go ahead and come out there and you want to be able to represent overall. So if you're not making a great first impression, fix it. If you are, keep doing exactly what you're doing, because that is what's going to take you further than others. All right, and that's what's going to get you that much closer to your overall success in life. So appreciate you watching Assign to 117. Like it, share it. Feedback's always welcome.